It's 5 and 10 from Skywatch TV. 5 things you need to know in about 10 minutes for Wednesday, April 24th, 2024. I'm Derek Gilbert. Topic number 5 today, Palestine in New York. President Biden trying to butter both sides of his bread. He was asked Monday if he had a message to the protesters at Columbia University, if he condemned the anti-Semitic protests on college campuses. Columbia not the only one. MIT, Yale, there are others around the country. Jewish professors at Columbia have had to ask for police protection just to get to their offices. Classes have been moved online for security purposes. Jewish students directed to avoid the protesters' Gaza solidarity camp for their own safety, of course. Nothing too reminiscent of 1938 Germany. Anyway, Biden said, "I condemn the anti-Semitic protests. That's why I've set up a program to deal with that. I also condemn those who don't understand what's going on with the Palestinians." He didn't explain what he meant by that. Another reporter shouted out a question and got the president onto a different topic. But again, he's trying to appease AIPAC, very influential political action committee inside Washington, D.C. that supports Israel, while at the same time trying not to anger his Muslim supporters, or what he hopes will be his Muslim supporters in Michigan, a key swing state in the upcoming presidential election. One of the Jewish groups on the Columbia campus said in a social media post Sunday that Jewish students are being targeted by protesters, telling them to go back to Poland and stop killing children. The president at Columbia University announced classes will be held virtually. A campus rabbi encouraged Jewish students to go home for their own safety. More than 100 students were arrested at Columbia last week, Wednesday and Thursday, one of whom was the daughter of Congresswoman Ilhan Omar of Minnesota. She's a Somali Muslim. And hilariously, I mean, the response of the corporate media here is unintentionally hilarious. The Daily Beast, which is a left-wing publication, reported that Omar's daughter was simply protesting and suddenly finds herself suspended from school, homeless, and without food. Homeless and without food. Her mother is a representative in the United States Congress. Has she no resources? Why is her daughter suddenly without a home and without food? Does Congresswoman Omar not know that her daughter is living on the street suddenly? No, of course not. It's that the Daily Beast is trying to drum up sympathy for this young lady and sympathy for the pro-Hamas cause. Topic number 4, the Gaza Pier. You remember during the State of the Union address, President Biden promised that the U.S. would build a pier to deliver aid more quickly to Gaza. The Navy has now revealed that one of the ships deployed to support that mission had to return to port last week after it suffered a fire in its engine room. Not really a good look. The incident comes as the self-imposed deadline by the Pentagon of having the pier operational by early May. As they promised, within 60 days of the State of the Union address, that pier would be up and running. Well, we're more than halfway there, and experts say that there are other delays and problems cropping up with the mission. For example, the ship that had to turn back returned to Jacksonville, Florida. It's still on its way there, just on one engine, for further assessment, by the way. The Pentagon announced the plan to use the Joint Logistics Over the Shore, or JLOTS, platform to construct this pier to deliver large amounts of aid quickly. But a shipping expert told military.com last Wednesday that one of the Army landing craft utility ships, the Wilson Wharf, appears to be stuck at a small island in part of the Canary Islands cluster off the west coast of Africa. So you've got the one ship with the engine fire, thankfully no one hurt, that had to go back to Florida. Another ship appears to be stuck in the Canary Islands, plus the Army's logistics support vessel, the General Frank S. Besson, spent a week in the Azores before finally making it to a Navy base in Greece. The expert reporting to military.com that such a long stay may indicate that the ship had an engineering issue. A retired Army Chief Warrant Officer, who asked not to be named, who's got significant experience in the Army's watercraft community, told military.com in an interview last week that if those boats don't have multiple major mechanical failures, I mean dead in the water mechanical failures, I will be shocked. They're horrendously maintained. And then he added, then there's a security issue. These boats are not intended to be put into a war zone. They've got a couple of 50 caliber machine guns, some small arms, but the vessel masters are not taught maritime tactics. It's possible that the IDF would provide security for the U.S. soldiers deployed there, but again, we're more than halfway to the self-imposed deadline, and the ships needed for the mission, most of them, have not yet reached the Mediterranean. Sadly, this is a very revealing look at the state of readiness of the United States military. Topic number 3, the internet is watching your children. So-called TikTok ban passed the House of Representatives, part of that package of legislation that went through on Saturday. But it appears that the United States government doesn't want any competition when it comes to spying on your electronic communications or online activity. TikTok connected to the Chinese Communist Party. We don't want the Chinese doing it. We will do that, hence the re-up of the FISA legislation and the expansion of Section 702, warrantless wiretapping essentially on the whole country. Anyway, there's a darker side to all of this, however. Our constant interaction with screens is putting our children and grandchildren at risk. They are under constant surveillance as well, and it's not just by the government. Sexual predators are grooming children under the age of 6 into performing disturbing acts of sexual abuse via phones and webcams. This is according to a charity in the UK called the Internet Watch Foundation. Said it had discovered some 2,000 remotely filmed examples of child abuse, images and videos of children between the ages of 3 and 6, and that's just from 2023. This follows recent warnings from the UK's communications watchdog Ofcom that almost a quarter of children aged 5 to 7 have their own smartphone. 25% of the kids in the UK, I imagine the same is true here in the United States. Children under the age of 7 with a smartphone. You do realize that this is an open window onto the rest of the world, into your child's bedroom. Security Minister Tom Tugendhat in the UK urged tech firms to do more to prevent abuse. Yeah, they need to be aware of how their tools are being used, but Dad, Mom, you are the last line of defense. Strangers would not appear at my house, 60 years ago and just ask to come into my bedroom. Dad would have, Dad was only 5'7.5", but I'm pretty sure he'd have turned into a grizzly bear at that point. But now, thanks to smartphones, tablets, laptops, we're letting strangers into our kids' bedrooms all the time, and we need to be aware that this is what's going on. Topic number 2, the Olympics. Summer Olympics coming to Paris this year. That means the torch ceremony and all of that. Christians, I suggest we need to be aware of what the Olympics is all about. We talked last week about the rise in the worship of pagan gods, open worship in Rome, Athens, of Zeus, Jupiter, Juno, Hera, Apollo, Athena, the rest. Well, the Olympic Games is a pagan celebration that was revived about a century ago and repeated since then every 4 years. Starts off by channeling its Greek origins through paying homage to Zeus and Apollo. And here's the still image from the video that was posted just a few days ago. In Athens, priestesses lit the flame, then offered up prayers to Apollo and Zeus. Now, bear in mind, Apollo was the plague god. He was known in Canaan as Resheph. He just happened to be the patron deity of Amenhotep II, who was the pharaoh of the Exodus, who, you might remember, was compelled to release the Hebrews after a series of plagues. He couldn't stop them. And then Zeus, of course, the Greek form of Baal or Baal, sky god, storm god, god of the king of the gods, became king of the gods by defeating Yam, the sea god, in single combat. And of course, you remember that Yahweh, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, freed the Hebrews by dividing the sea. The word in Hebrew is Yam, not coincidentally. And later, by the way, in Matthew 12, verses 22 through 26, Revelation 2, verse 13, Jesus identified Zeus/Baal as Satan. So look, if you want to watch the Summer Games and appreciate the skill of the athletes, that's fine. Just bear in mind, it's called the Olympics because it honors the Olympians, the fallen angels led by Zeus, i.e. Satan. Coming up, Escape from L.A. I think the mayor there may be considering it now. That's next on 5 and 10.
We want to make sure that you know how you can get your copy of this incredible new book in the Summoning the Demon Super Collection. This amazing collection includes Dr. Thomas Horn's final book, Summoning the Demon, Artificial Intelligence and the Image of the Beast, that reveals how tech singularity will bring an all-powerful artificial mind to life. The trigger event that will make 666, the mark of the beast, mandatory overnight. What the future of a marked society will look like. The new face of transhuman supernatural warfare and how Christians must prepare for what is coming. But this incredible collection also includes, for a limited time, the brand new Dr. Thomas Horn Definitive Skywatch TV collection. This unimaginable and historical TV anthology is valued at $99.95 all by itself. It contains a total of 96 episodes, over 45 hours of content on 8 DVDs, and is not available anywhere else or online, and includes classic series like Zenith 2016, The Milieu, Belly of the Beast, Saboteurs, The Wormwood Prophecy, The Messenger, Zeitgeist 2025, Legion, and more. But we're still not finished. You'll also receive Trajectory, Tracking the Approaching Tribulation Storm. This unprecedented masterpiece by legendary authors Dr. Thomas Horn, Terry James, Tim Moore, and others provides in-depth analysis of emerging topics like pandemic tidal waves, catastrophic weather changes, Mideast malevolence, and so much more. This unprecedented collection, sold separately, holds a retail value of over $140. Yours now for your donation of only $39.99 plus shipping and handling. So don't delay. You can scan the QR code on your screen right now using the camera app on your phone for instant access to this special collection. You can also visit us at skywatchtvstore.com or call 1-844-750-4985 and ask for the Summoning the Demon Super Collection now.
Item number 1 today, things in LA, they've gotten bad when the mayor's home gets burgled. And that happened this past Sunday. An intruder arrested after breaking into the home. The official residence of the mayor of Los Angeles, Mayor Karen Bass, was home at 6:40 a.m. Sunday morning as an intruder broke in through a glass door. Police were summoned to the scene, got there very quickly, arrested the intruder. But now the rest of the story. Mayor Bass, as a member of the United States Congress, is the author of the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act. And she has been pushing bail reform for at least the last decade. Not bail the storm god, but, cash bail to get out after you've been arrested. This is not the first time she's been the victim of a break-in, by the way, although it's the first since she was elected mayor there last year. One wonders if her views of bail reform, in other words, allowing those who've been arrested and charged back out on the streets more easily, if her views of bail reform have changed at all, although we do note that after she was elected last year, campaigning on bail reform and rethinking policing, the LA Police Department's union campaigned against her, but after she was elected, took office, she did call for adding hundreds of officers to the LA Police Department and did raise their salary through a new contract deal that she struck with the union. So I guess bail reform is fine when the criminals are burgling other people. Skywatch TV's virtual conference, Confronting or Countering the Darkness, which means confronting it, I suppose, is ongoing. You still get 90 days access to all of the content, video presentations from the likes of Rabbi Jonathan Cahn, Pastor Carl Gallups, Dr. Judd Burton, many others, yours truly included. My best friend, Sharon K. Gilbert, with a presentation as well. You get 90 days access to all of that, plus as a free bonus, access to all 6 Skywatch Films documentaries, and of course, it includes the final presentation by Dr. Tom Horn. 90 days access instantly from the moment you sign up. Find out more and sign up today at defenderconference.com. Defenderconference.com. This week, the 4th and final week of our investigative series on the role of artificial intelligence in biblical prophecy. How exactly will image or life be given to the image of the beast? Will AI play a role in that? Will artificial intelligence actually help to summon the beast? There's actually some interesting scriptural support for that as the dragon, Satan, stands on the shore of the sea as the seven-headed beast the Antichrist emerges, the sand on the shore of the sea is silicon from which you make, microprocessors and so forth. Interesting thought. Maybe a stretch, but who knows? Anyway, it's part of the new book, Summoning the Demon, a reference to creating autonomous AI by Elon Musk. Authors Joe Artis Horn, Allie Anderson, and of course Tom Horn had contributed to the book before his passing. Valuable information. Technology has increased to the point where it is actually fulfilling Bible prophecy. Every nation, every tongue, every tribe will see the return of Messiah in the clouds with great glory. Well, that can happen now with a video phone. The broadcast is available right now at our website, skywatchtv.com. The over-the-air program, the schedule on our partner networks, posted skywatchtv.com/channels. It's available right now at Roku and Apple TV, also at Rumble, rumble.com/skywatchtv. But if you get our free mobile app, you make yourself cancel-proof, or you at least cancel-proof us. It's our app. We won't be canceled from it. All of our video content is there, some exclusives, other features like an audio Bible with multiple translations and more. It's available for iOS, Android, and Amazon Kindle Fire phones and tablets, and we have links to those app stores at skywatchtv.com/app. Thank you for watching as we keep watch. I'm Derek Gilbert. This is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV.